Hello, how y'all doing? So, I've been seeing a lot of videos about people just quitting their jobs and not wanting to pay their bills, and millennials and Gen Zs are lazy, and I'm 27. Um, Basically, I can't speak on everybody else's experiences, but I recently, well, not recently, but I quit my job, and I don't regret it whatsoever. And I've quit multiple jobs before. And I can assure you that I'm not lazy. Um, I'm still an athlete. I still lift weights. I still do a lot of different stuff to ensure that I'm not lazy and that I'm very disciplined. But I've been seeing a lot of videos like this, and it just gave me motivation to kind of put my 2 cents on it. Um, so to start off with, I used to do construction, right? I went to a trade school. I got my trade. I did all that. I started doing brick masonry. Um, and through that time, I was really happy. I was getting like really fit, really doing stuff. I was making a lot of money. Well, it was 17 an hour, but to most people, that's a lot, right? Um, I think I was only like 20, 22 at that time. Um, More of the story, it was in Savannah, Georgia, and I'm black and white, and I grew up on my blacker side, right? Um, well, that sounded weird. I'm black and white, okay? But I grew up black, straight up, right? So, my family and stuff, they're very interested in like old times, like the slavery and stuff like that, and I am too, because it's a big deal. I mean, obviously, my dad was white, my mom was black, and so that stuff affects me directly as well. And I know there's a little off topic, but bear with me, right? So we actually decided to go to a old plantation in Georgia, right? And in Georgia, me walking up to the plantation and me seeing what was going on, it looked exactly like my job site, like from everything, right? Obviously, I was doing brick masonry, and whenever I went to the slave plantation, they had bricks lined up the same way, the same type of jobs, the same type of everything. And that kind of hit my soul, because it's like, it's a direct correlation, right? And I know that's not something that most people experience, because you have to kind of go find those experiences, which I did, right? But I didn't know what I was going to find when I got there. And it was one of those things where I felt like I was still stuck in the loop of past, right? Because a lot of people act like slavery and stuff is not, it's not around no more. It doesn't exist. That thing is dead. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I feel like whenever it comes to Gen Z and millennials and stuff like that, I feel like we just are understanding that on a higher level, than our ancestors, than our older people, right? Um, and I feel as though it's a heavy topic that a lot of people just don't speak about, but I feel like it needs to be spoken about, right? And with that being said, I feel like that's why I wanted to kind of put my 2 cents in, because it's stuff that we see that not everybody else sees us see, right? Like, you don't know my life, I don't know your life. We don't know what we've seen, we don't know what we've been through. But I will tell you, from what I've been through and what I've seen, the system is set up for us to fail. That's just how it's been. And like I said, I'm 27. I'm not even Gen Z or none of that, but I'm also not a boomer, right? But it's also like, I participated. I've been working since I actually been working since I was 16, actually for free, because they wanted me to prove that I was worth something before I could get paid for it, right? And it's like, at that time, I thought it was, I thought it was trash at that time as well. And I was only 16 at the time, 15, whatever, right? But I did it. Why? Because I was always told that that's what we just do, right? We should just do that 100%, right? Is like, well, you do got to prove yourself. Well, you do, right? And I never agreed with it, because why, whenever I do a job interview, why must they test me to see if I'm qualified at all? Even though I put and I've said that I'm more than enough qualified, why is that not enough? But if I check to see if the job is qualified enough for me, I don't get hired. I get put off, because it's like, it's supposed to be an exchange, it's supposed to be a 100% exchange. And I feel like jobs nowadays don't care to exchange anything. They're like, look, come be my slave and then go home. And if your kids or your wife or whoever is sick and they need you, guess what? You can't go. You can't handle that because you're here. You're on the clock. Find somebody else to do it. Right? And I never enjoyed that type of convo. I never enjoyed that. Like, I take that kind of stuff as disrespect, because if I'm sitting here and I'm doing my job and I'm better than most people at my job and I'm taking it serious and I'm a great individual as a whole, and I have my morals and my respect and I have my discipline all lined up. If I have all that stuff lined up, why must I follow your words that don't seem very moral, that don't seem very genuine? And that's stuff that I fight with all day, every day, right? Because whenever it comes to getting a car, getting a house, an apartment, whenever it comes to getting a job, whenever it comes to doing anything like that, they expect these things from you that shouldn't really even concern them, to be honest. But whenever you ask for something in return, they're like, oh, no. That's not how this works. Matter of fact, you're denied. And so it's a weird time right now. And I feel like a lot of people see it. A lot of people are waking up and they're understanding that this is not how things are supposed to be. I've actually felt this way for decades. And it's like, since I came out the womb being disobedient, not purposely, but like, I came out the womb understanding that this is not it, right? And I feel like a lot of people, Gen Z and stuff like that, I feel like they're doing the same, They realize that this is not it, this is not what it's supposed to be. And they want to make a change. They want to make a stand. And if you're not going to stand for your morals, if you're not going to stand for your respect, if you're not going to stand for what you know is right or wrong, then what are you standing for? Or are you standing at all? And I have to ask myself these questions all the time. And I feel like this keeps me disciplined. It keeps me in line with myself. Because I don't put up with disrespect. And I vow and I hope, and I tell my sister, I tell my family, I tell my little brother, I tell everybody, don't put up with disrespect, right? And what I mean by disrespect is like ownership of you, or straight up just complete disrespect. There's many ways of showing that, but you got to identify it and understand whenever it's in your presence, and then handle it accordingly, right? Obviously don't over respond, but don't under respond either, And it's like, life is tough, man. Life is tough. And I just thought I would give my 2 cents on stuff, because it's a topic that's going around and I feel like it needs to be had. Again, it needs to be had. These are not convos that need to go under a bridge, And I feel like people are so programmed to thinking how they've been thinking for their entire life, that they forget the big picture, you know? They forget that jobs are supposed to be there as an exchange, not as a slavery, not as a ownership of you. Like, I know many of mothers and fathers who have to fight with their jobs every day and about their kids, right? Or about their mom being sick and then their job not wanting to respect that or make time for that for you, right? They don't necessarily care. And it's like a lot of them, they put up with it. They sit back. They're like, my kids will get through it without me. I mean, I need this job. But I grew up with no parents. I grew up, my mom was locked up. My dad, he was nowhere to be found. I bet money it had something to do with slavery, you know, because that racism stuff, everybody says that racism stuff is dead. It's not. But I'm going to leave that where it's at, right? But with that being said, why are we bowing down to jobs instead of your kids or instead of your parents or instead of something that you genuinely care about or live for, you know? We don't live to work. Yes, we need to work, sure. But I don't even believe that. Like, I feel like, I believe that we need to work in this society that we have created as a human race. But I don't believe that that's what humans are supposed to be doing 24/7, you know? And that's just my input. I mean, I'm going to leave it at this for now, only because, I could talk about this stuff for hours. But because I have already, like, people are just now waking up to this. I've been woke to this kind of stuff since a little kid, you know? And people don't really respect it, which is okay, but I stand on that, you know? I stand on that because, again, I stand for morals and I stand for respect. And regardless if we're talking about a job or a car or anything in life, I just don't feel like I need to bow down to some of the things that people believe otherwise, you know? But do me a favor, let me know in the comments. I love these kind of convos. Let me know what everybody's thinking. Let me know if I sound delusional, right? Because a lot of people, they do that, right? I'm pretty sure that I'm one of the masculine men around here, right? And I feel that truly. Everybody tells me that. They're like, you're one of the most masculine men I've ever met. And it's because I'm unapologetic with these types of topics and these types of takes, because we're gone. And somebody got to do it, right? Somebody got to bring us back. And I refuse to be consumed in what everybody believes life should be rather than what it should truly be, you know? Like, they charge us for water. They charge us for everything. They cutting down trees. Like, we don't need that to live. Like, are they slow? You know, like, I don't know. It's crazy. But look, I'm gonna leave that there. Peace out.